Are you struggling to fetch data from Google Sheets using Angular 1.6's http.jsonp? You're not alone. This is a common issue that many developers face, and today we're going to tackle it together. I completely understand how frustrating it can be when your code just doesn't work as expected. You might feel like you've tried everything, and yet the problem persists. This is a common scenario for many developers. Here's the specific situation we're addressing. One user, Yoav, is trying to fetch data from Google Sheets using Angular 1.6's http.jsonp. They encountered an error stating that Google is not defined and are struggling to get the promise to receive the response. Sound familiar? Let's dive into this together. So what could be causing this issue? The problem often lies in how Angular handles JSONP requests and the way Google Sheets API responds. We'll break it down step by step to help you understand what's going wrong. And stick around. I have a crucial tip at the end that could save you a lot of headaches when working with APIs in Angular. To address the issue with Angular 1.6's http.jsonp and the Google Sheets API, the user should first ensure that the callback function is defined correctly. This function will handle the response from the API. Next, the user should modify the parameters for the http.jsonp request. Specifically, they need to ensure that the TQX parameter is set correctly to include the callback function. After that, the user should check the URL being used in the http.jsonp call. It's important to use the trusted URL that has been sanitized with SCE. Finally, the user should handle the promise returned by the http.jsonp call. They need to ensure that the success and error functions are defined to manage the response appropriately. Fun fact, did you know that the first spreadsheet program was created in 1979? It was called VisiCalc, and it paved the way for modern spreadsheet applications like Google Sheets. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. One alternative solution involves using Angular's scope.apply property. This property helps update the scope when working with asynchronous calls. The user suggests implementing it in the callback function to ensure the data is properly bound to the scope. The user also notes that declaring the callback outside the controller can help manage the response effectively. They emphasize that this approach resolved their issues with data binding. Here's the tip I promised. Always check the console for errors and ensure your API keys are set up correctly. This can save you a lot of time debugging. And there you have it. With these troubleshooting steps, you should be able to fetch data from Google Sheets using Angular 1.6's http.jsonp. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks.